Hello and welcome to your global news update for January 27th, 2026. Thanks for joining me.
All right, let's jump right in. We're starting today in the United States, where tensions are really escalating in Minneapolis. This comes after federal immigration agents fatally shot a second U.S. citizen this month.
The victim has now been identified as 37-year-old Alex Preddy. His death is really amplifying the situation on the ground, and it's prompted state and local officials to once again call for an end to this entire federal operation in Minnesota.
And the pressure for some real answers is coming from all sides. It's not a partisan issue at this point. We're seeing a growing number of Republican senators joining Democrats, and they're all pushing for a full, independent investigation into exactly what happened.
This political pressure really mirrors what's happening across the country. The nation is sharply divided on this. A recent YouGov poll shows that nearly half of Americans believe the shooting was not justified. On the other hand, about a third think it was. And that leaves a pretty big chunk of the country just undecided.
So here's what we know. The Trump administration is holding firm, saying that their agents fired in self-defense after Preddy allegedly assaulted them. But the details that are starting to come out from witnesses, well, they're painting a much more complex and heavily contested picture of what actually went down on Saturday morning. Okay, so from those domestic tensions, we're going to shift our focus overseas. Let's turn to Venezuela for an update on the aftermath of the U.S. military operation that happened there earlier this month.
So, just as a quick refresher for everyone, Operation Absolute Resolve, that's what it was called, resulted in the capture of President Nicolas Maduro. He was then brought to New York to stand trial, which left his government in place, but now under an acting president, Delcy Rodriguez.
Now, in the weeks since that operation, the new acting government has started to release political prisoners who were detained under Maduro. The latest count we have now stands at 250 people.
But, and this is a really big but, for so many people, that progress just isn't happening fast enough. The whole process has been described as slow, even agonizing, and you have some families of those who are still locked up calling the entire situation a farce as they just continue to wait. And this more assertive foreign policy approach we're seeing from the Trump administration, well, it continues. They've just formally established a brand new international body which was unveiled at the World Economic Forum in Davos. It's called the Board of Peace. Now, its initial stated focus is a 20-point redevelopment plan for Gaza, but if you look at its charter, it seems to have much wider ambitions, a much bigger role in mediating global conflicts.
Right away, analysts are suggesting this new board could be a potential rival to the United Nations Security Council, and you can see why. It operates on a fundamentally different model. Instead of membership being based on the UN Charter, a country can get a permanent seat through a $1 billion contribution.
So the diplomatic lines are already being drawn. You've got key nations like Saudi Arabia and Turkey who have accepted seats. Maybe they see a strategic advantage here. But on the flip side, traditional U.S. allies, the UK, France, Canada, they've all said no. They're citing concerns that this new body just undermines the authority of the UN. And the board's very first task, that massive redevelopment plan for Gaza, has already drawn some really sharp criticism. The main complaint is a perceived lack of any real consultation with the Palestinian people. All of these geopolitical shifts, all this uncertainty, it's creating waves. And those waves are being felt in the global markets, with a lot of investors now making a move towards so-called safe haven assets.
And look at this. The price of gold absolutely shattered previous records on Monday. It surged past $5,100 an ounce to a new all-time high. Just incredible.
Now, to really put that number into perspective, think about this. Gold gained a mind-boggling 64% through all of 2025. And now, it's already up nearly 18% in less than 1 month of 2026.
So what's causing this? Well, it's not just one single thing. This rally is being driven by a perfect storm of factors. You've got the geopolitical uncertainty we've been talking about, domestic economic fears, and just incredibly strong demand from both central banks and regular private investors, all looking for a stable place to put their money.
And that's a roundup of today's major headlines.
We'll be back with another update for you in 24 hours. If you'd like to stay informed, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.